What it do, bruh? Talk of the town, Nintendo, Doc Trey, still holding it down, still make the best games, and you know this, bro. It's the truth. You don't like it, you can have that seat up. So the internet is in a frenzy right now because the much hyped Xbox exclusive Starfield is now rumored to be coming to the PlayStation 5. And even more Xbox games are now being rumored to come to Nintendo platforms and PlayStation platforms. And some of these games are huge games, huge exclusives for Xbox. But you notice that a lot of the people that are usually in the know, and specifically a lot of people that are very particular about what they say, because they don't want to put wrong information out there, have been interestingly keen to comment on this. And the reason for that is this is something that's been brewing in the background for years. Even before the Series X and Series S were even announced. This has been a plan for a very long time, and you've seen people, including myself, teasing things like this over the years, and you probably thought that we were just messing around or thought we were just trolling. Well, some of it was trolling, but the reason it was trolling is because we knew what was happening. And it appears that Microsoft is planning to put quite a bit of Xbox games on other competing platforms. And this really shouldn't be that big of a surprise if you have listened to what the Xbox team has said, even at their own E3 conferences over the last few years. Like, they've hinted at this. Some of it isn't even hints. They're telling you, we want Xbox games on as many devices as possible. You can't say that statement without being on the opposition's devices. As many devices as possible means literally being on everything. So they told us this years ago, but it's like people, they just refuse to believe what they were hearing. So what I think was the main plan, originally anyway, for the Xbox Series consoles was this. They've been planning to bring some of their exclusives, and especially the content that they bought from these other developers, to other platforms for a while now. And I think the big point of the Series consoles, specifically the Xbox Series X, was that this was the console for the super duper Xbox fanboy extremist. This was the console where you got the first party Xbox exclusives first. This was what you were supposed to have, the best looking third party games. But what happened was, even though the Xbox Series X is the most powerful console on the market currently, the third-party games didn't exactly always look and perform the best on that platform. And sometimes it was the opposite. So that part of the plan kind of failed. But you could still get access to those first-party games first on Xbox. But I think that is the point. I think that a lot of these games going forward, the main point of having an Xbox is being able to, one, have those games playable on Game Pass and not have to pay, the $70 for it, but also having access to them before everyone else. And you're probably wondering, like, well, what's the big deal about having access to them first? It actually is kind of a big deal. Like, when you think about it, think of all the games that you bought day one that you knew were going to be cheaper in a month, and you still bought it day one because you just had to have it day one. That is the same line of thinking. If you want a lot of these Xbox exclusives the day they come out, you have to have an Xbox. Or if you don't want to pay full price for these games, you have to have an Xbox. Now, for the people that don't want to buy an Xbox or don't have to have those games day one or want a physical copy of their game, then you have to wait, and then you can get that game on the PlayStation 5 or the Nintendo Switch 2. And that seems to be how things are going to end up playing out. Now, this isn't going to be every game. This is going to be a case-by-case basis, but I think due to the series consoles not really selling as well as Microsoft would have hoped, I think they're going to have a lot more games coming than originally intended. But they are coming.